Welcome back, guys. This is Cool Prince, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do pretty much everything in Onshape. So first thing you're going to do is make an account, sign in, all stuff like that, whatever you want. And first thing we're going to go to is create. We're going to click document. Now it'll start up with untitled document. You can put over what name you want. Under here, you're going to be your folders, stuff like that, and you're going to click create after you name it, or if you don't want to name it, that's okay. Next, what we're going to do is once it loads, you're going to so this is the home screen for anything you're going to be designing. This is everything outside of a sketch. This is the sketch tool. These are your planes, and these are your features. So we have no features right now, besides our right, front, top, and origin plane. The origin is just this little dot in the middle. You cannot sketch on origin. I believe. Yeah. So first thing I like to do is I like to click top here. So I'm just on the top plane, makes it easiest. Click sketch. And I can either click top here or click top here. So I'm just going to click it there. And after I'm here, I'll be greeted with completely different things up here. These are my sketch tools. The only things that are left right here are revolve and extrude. So I'm just gonna plot down a center point circle. We'll get into that later. And another thing I should point out is everything you can change your units, so whether you want it on inches, millimeters, click on these three lines and click workspace units. My default unit is the millimeter, so that's good. Most 3D printing is millimeters, but yeah. So I'm just gonna click that, and I'm gonna click extrude. This, and then I'll click check again. This is now a part. So this part can be exported into your slicer, and you can print this part. So whatever you need this for, I don't know. But so yeah, that's how you make something. So to go back to the sketch, we'll right click edit, and now you're back to the main sketch. You can click top again. Now the second tool I'll point out is the dimension tool. The dimension tool, it comes in really handy. So whenever you want to make something a certain length, you'll click dimension, click whatever you want to make a certain length. After it loads, you'll click again, and then you can enter however long you want it to be, or tall, or whatever. So we'll just click 40 millimeters, that's good. Now, if I did this, say I've already dimensioned this, but I wanted to dimension it again, then I'd click here, and I just make another dimension, and say I wanted it at 45. Now it says sketch could not be solved. That means that since you already put the dimension as 40, it can't go anywhere else unless you edit on this dimension. You can't add any other dimensions. So to make this go away, you'll right click on that dimension that you just made, or actually no, to escape this, you'll click undo twice. And if you wanted to make it say 45 millimeters, just double click on that 40 millimeter first dimension and click 45. Now it can be 45. You cannot do two dimensions on the same line. Next tool we will be looking at is the line tool. So the line tool is just a line. You can make it anywhere, anything, whatever. And I just made this shape. And to extrude something, it has to be an enclosed shape. So this, I can't extrude this because this is just a simple line. And there's no like geometry to it. But if I closed it off, then I can extrude this part now. So that could be a single part. I don't want to extrude that. So line is a simple thing that I like to use. Next, on the drop down of line, there's midpoint line. So if you say you had a point and you just wanted to make a really precise dimension or line, you can just click on that point and it'll drag it out each way. And you see those numbers changing in the middle? Those numbers will tell you how many millimeters that this line is. So it won't be millimeters on each side. It'll be however long the line is. So we'll just click there, and that's all that there is for line. If you drop down, there's nothing else. And also to get line, you can just press L on your keyboard, and it'll go back to line. But there's not a shortcut for midpoint line. Next, corner rectangle. This is like one where if you wanted to have a rectangle started here and end out here, then I can make it like that. Pretty easy, just like line, only always makes a square or rectangle. Next is center point rectangle. So this is just like the center or the midpoint line, where if you click on a point, you can drag it out, and then you can like say I wanted this, say, yeah, however long you wanted to mention that. And then on the second drop down, or on the third drop down of the corner rectangle, is a lined rectangle. So this one will start off as a line, and once you do 2 points, you can drag outwards, and it will make another box. So that one's kind of helpful. I never really use it that much, but yeah. So we're just gonna delete all of that. There we go. And then I'll just show you this tool really quickly. The trim tool. This tool can delete any line or sketch you want. So I'm just gonna delete this tool, or just this sketch. But you'll notice if I click check, this extrude is gonna have a little line right there, or a little sign right there. It's gonna be red. That is because I just deleted the only thing that the extrude had to extrude. So that means there's nothing else to extrude here, and it says extrude 1 did not regenerate properly. Regenerate, whatever that word is. So to fix this, you'll just right click on extrude, click delete, or you can go back in your sketch, right click it, click edit, and make a new sketch, or make a new like line. So next, here's center point circle. So I already showed you this one. Center point circle. You click on a center point. You can mention it. Blah blah blah. 3-point circle, or yeah. 3-point circle is So I'm just gonna trim this circle right here. I don't really use 3-point circle, but it's where you click a line, and that or like click a point, and that point is going to be the edge of your circle. You're gonna click another point, and then you can make your circle really big, really small, whatever. I don't really use this one. I don't think it's helpful, but I mean, some people might. Oh, great. There we go. Okay. So, and also another thing that you can use with trim is if I say I had a line here, instead of just clicking on each thing, I could also swipe, and then that'll get rid of that line. Next on circle, there is ellipse. So this one will start off with a center point, and it'll always make a kind of oval shape. So the cool thing about ellipses is no matter how you do it, if you bounce, say like a light from right here, and then it'll always end up right here, because the way that, like, so yeah, there's a really cool Mark Rober about that. You should go check him out. But that's pretty much it for 3-point ellipse, or ellipse, yeah. Then 3-point arc. This one's really helpful for going like over that, and then like that, and then you get to choose that. Pretty simple tool. I sometimes use it. It's just not very helpful. 2 points there. And then was that all? Yeah. So, and then on 3-point arc, there's tangent arc. It's pretty much the same thing. Center point arc, that's where you click a center point and then drag out. Elliptical arc, that is where I actually never used that one. So, and then conic, I've also never used that one. The only ones that I use is 3-point arc, tangent arc, and center point arc. And I won't get all into those, but inscribed polygon, click say a center point, you drag it out to as much as you want, and then once you click, it'll usually come up with 9, and if you drag inwards, it'll get less lines. You can't go less than 3, but if you drag outwards, then it'll get more lines. So I could make, say, an octagon. I forgot all the other ones, what they're named, but yeah, so that one's pretty helpful. Spline, this one is really helpful for tracing stuff, so I'll get more on spline later. There's also circumcised polygon. I've never used that one. And then spline bezier and spline control point. Spline control point I've used once. It like makes the spline like go a bit farther out or in. And then point. Point is a really cool tool. So you can already see there's a point right here. But if I wanted to say put another point right here, then I'll just click there. And then I could put my line starting here and go all the way down to there. So that's just a helpful thing to know. Next is text. So these are all the creating tools. This is how you make your shape. If you already have a shape, then you can create text. Or you can just make a shape be text. So you'll just draw a box. Default text is default text. So, and then you have your default text there. Now if I click extrude, you'll see how there's a ton of parts. And those are all those parts. These are all parts that I can individually extrude or extrude in a whole thing. So yeah, that's how you use the text tool. We're just gonna delete all that. Actually, I'm just gonna delete this whole sketch one. It'll make it easier. And then, so yeah, here is here we go. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay, so text, use or project, convert. I've never used. So I won't be helpful there. Construction is, I've barely used that one, and I don't know really what it does or it worked for me. Sketch fillet. So sketch fillet and sketch chamfer. You'll also notice if you go out here, there's fillet, chamfer. So sketch fillet is, say this is like that, and it's a right angle. I wanted to make it smooth, like rounded along this edge. Then I'll click sketch fillet, click 2 lines, and then this is I don't know what R stands for. It was like something like that, I don't know. But then this is how much you want your sting. If it ever goes into red, that means that it's more than this shape can, like, it's bigger than that shape, which is impossible. So you can just like go like that. It's pretty simple. And then sketch chamfer is the same. It just makes it like a line instead of a curve. And then trim, we already got to trim. And then there's also extend or split. I've never used any of those. Offset is a really good one. So say I had a line here and I wanted it to be like 2 lines. You could either make 2 lines and dimension them like different, whatever, or you could click offset and then just click the line that you want offsetted, and then you'll click, it'll be like that, and you'll click again, and it'll go to, you can type in however far away you want the second line. So that's a good thing. Slot, I'm not sure what slot is. Let's see. If you draw a line, we'll learn together here. And then you click the line. Oh yeah, so it just makes a rounded thing around that. So yeah. Mirror. So say I had, let's see, a line rectangle like that. This is also what I use line rectangle for. So say I wanted this thing right here again. So it says first select a mirror line. I'm going to click this line and then select entities to be mirrored. So I'm going to click that, and that, and I'll make a second box right beside it. So that can be helpful if you want to make 2 things, whatever. Next is the linear pattern in Sketch. So linear pattern, say I had a box here, or wait, I'm just going to go center point box, center point rectangle. I'm going to say 10 millimeters and 10 millimeters. So this is a box, but what if I wanted a ton of boxes? I'm going to click linear pattern, and I'm going to click all these 4 sides. You can see how my second box and third box is right there. So now for however many boxes I want, I'll double click on that 3 and say 10. So now I have 10 boxes all in a row. Now what if I wanted them high too, like 10 boxes high? Then on this one, I'll just click 10. And now I have 100 boxes here. And then however far apart I wanted them. This one's kind of hard. I don't know why they dimension it from here to here instead of from this line to this line. But say I wanted them 5 millimeters apart, and then 5 millimeters apart up here. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute, actually. Let's see. Well, yeah. So you get the point. Actually, you use, yeah. So, and then, so that's linear pattern, and you'll notice how, oh wait, what am I doing? You'll notice how there's a drop down for linear pattern. This is circular pattern. I've never used transform, but circular pattern is the same thing. Say I had this circle here, and like I was like that, and then I wanted a ton of these circles. I'll just click on that. I don't think I can do it, but yeah, circular pattern I've never used in Sketch. There's also ones that are out of Sketch. Insert DXF or DAWG. So this one you'll only be using if you're going to be sketching something. That will be in part 2 of this video. It may not be more parts, but there will be a part 2 soon. We'll be learning how to sketch things and stuff like that. And then dimension tool, we already went over that, and coincident. I don't know how to say that. So say I had line here and a line here. So say I wanted these two lines to be touching, and this only works if they're not dimensioned. So I'll just click coincident, click that point right there, click that line, and now those 2 points, this line and this line are touching. So that's a pretty good one. There are a ton of other ones. I've never used these ones, so I don't think you will either, because I've done a lot of stuff in CAD. Not to brag, but and then so that is everything inside the sketch. And in part 2 we'll get to everything outside the sketch and sketching stuff like things. So thanks for watching, and I'll have a part 2 soon. Signing off.